think we're actually back live again. We had some breaking news, which I will share that information towards the end of the show because I think it's very important. I think you guys will be excited to hear it. So, as I said, take two. Welcome back to another show of Northwest Arkansas BMX Podcast. We're here at the Railyard here in Rogers, Arkansas. I understand that I haven't really done a lot of these this year. I apologize for that because I've been trying to get better at this. Some things I want to kind of write down, some things to share, some things going on in the BMX world, some things in Northwest Arkansas, Oklahoma, Team USA, Sidehacks, all that cool stuff. I've been trying to track every single one. It's been a little difficult, but here we are. Show number 7, guys. Sunday afternoon, Railyard. We do a little bit of shredding after this show, so I'll be seeing some pictures up there on Facebook. But first and foremost, I want to thank all of our supporters from the first part of July all the way to now. You guys, all those followers that have clicked follow, like, subscribe, share. Thanks, guys, because without you guys, this show wouldn't be successful like it somewhat has been. But special supporters like the Beer Budget Podcast, guys, if you haven't listened to those guys, get on over there, the Beer Budget. Those guys are awesome. Love listening to those shows, especially with Rick Carter. Rick Carter's another one of the supporters, which him and Cord Bierman has been pushing this podcast, and I couldn't be more happier with those two pushing this podcast along. Of course, Cord Bierman, he's donated a couple things. AOS Squared, along with Cord Bierman, they've helped out with the show. NWA BMX, our local track, which ain't built just yet, but it's going to be here soon. Railyard Bike Park. If you haven't been to the Jones Center in Springdale, Arkansas, haven't been to the Railyard Bike Park, just right up the road from the Railyard Bike Park in Rogers, go check it out. Awesome pump track, awesome skills park. You couldn't even be happier at another bike park other than the Railyard, but Railyard Bike Park is fun. Jones Center, the Jones Center for Families, fantastic facility. Couldn't ask for a better facility to hold a bike park / pump track, all the cool events out there. So, one of the big reasons I haven't really done one of these in a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, I didn't know how to really put this, because when you have a rider that's part of your track that passes away unexpectedly, it's hard to come up with some of the words to say and to say appropriately. So during the Gold Cup finals a few weeks ago at Hardesty, one of our riders, Chuck Bull, passed away unexpectedly, and there was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of support, man. And I've talked to Amanda Ball, and all the support that you guys have given them has been incredible. And I've always said the BMX family is probably the best family that you could find besides, any other close family. But Chuck Ball, I've only known him for a couple of years after our track got disassembled by the city. I've seen Chuck here and there, his son race, his son Jacob, incredible rider. Chuck gave that positive energy vibe that there's going to be a hole in the positive energy around here, especially with BMX. He always had that smile, always excited for the next ride or next race, all the cool stuff. And then, of course, Mays County BMX, Sand Springs BMX came together. They did a memorial race for Chuck and his family. And I didn't get to go to the Sand Springs race, but I heard that it was huge over there. All the kind of cool stuff. While that was going on, of course, I was at the Oklahoma BMX Hall of Fame. All the cool guys, cool legends. Getting back to the memorial races, like when I went to Mays County, I expected a good rider count. I didn't expect the rider count that was there. I mean, Mays County, you guys blew it away. I've been to a couple memorial races, but that was probably the coolest memorial race I've ever been to. I've never been to a race where you had a silent lap, of course, with the big raffle, all the cool ideas. I even put in some stuff for the raffle. Of course, all the proceeds went to Chuck Ball's family. It was nice seeing Jacob Ball out there get the race. It was good to see Amanda and Tommy and all the friends and family of Chuck, which it was huge. It was huge of the impact that Chuck has made. Of course, a little bit about Chuck that a lot of people don't know. Like, he used to race back in the day in the 2000s, I think. I've seen a few pictures of him racing against Grands, and wow. Before I even met him, he was a great guy. Even after I met him, I think the last few times I hung out with him was actually the Cabot Gold Cup qualifier, the Sand Springs State qualifier, and Gold Cup qualifier. And I think the last time I got to say hi to him, or even get to speak to him, was the Max Heat Wave Last Chance qualifier at Sand Springs. And that was 3-4 weeks ago. But it was fun to get to know that I got to say hi and bye to him before all this happened. You never know when you're gonna leave this world, but Chuck definitely left a huge impact on BMX, and there's going to be some awards coming out possibly next year for the Vintage Bike Show, which I'm going to explain a little bit later on. That's going to be a memorial award for him in his honor. So also, we had, while we were dealing with that loss here in Northwest Arkansas, I mean, this is the first time in Northwest Arkansas in almost 13 years that we've lost a rider. And then, just a week or two later, this past week, we actually lost a trailblazer of the sport of BMX, and it was kind of a hard hit for everybody that actually knew him. I got to meet this guy a few times. I got to meet him at the Vintage Nationals, the Grands, all the big USA BMX events. The grand opening for the Hall of Fame and Museum. This past week we lost Bernie Anderson, one of the top ABA guys that pretty much set the trail for BMX, ABA, for the ABA BMX. And it's very hard, like I said in the beginning, it's very hard to come up with words with riders that pass away. I mean, riders like Chuck Ball gone too soon. Bernie Anderson, he lived a long life, and he deserved everything he got, man. That dude helped this sport that we call BMX, shaped it into it is today. Of course, there was a bunch of BMX organizations, but ABA, NWA was the big ones. and they went to USA BMX. So yeah, huge shout out to the Anderson family, BRBA, all your family, man. If you guys are watching, I'm incredibly sorry for your loss, man. That hits the BMX community too in a huge way. And I know how much of an impact he had on BMX. If you haven't been to the National BMX Hall of Fame Museum, there's a few things in there that Bernie Anderson actually put into play, and a lot of cool artifacts in there. So we move on, going from the sad to like the cool stuff and exciting. So I think it was like 2 weeks ago, we had the Jones Center Bike Fest here in Springdale, Arkansas, just right down the road from here. And wow, it was an amazing turnout. We had a good turnout. It was it wasn't a big turnout like we were hoping for, but it was a good turnout. So Friday night, Hyper came out with their stunt team. All the cool stuff, even NWA locals like Ted. He used to work here at the Railyard. Now he's working for Hyper. And that was a really cool show for all the kids. The Jones Center Pedal It Forward also donated bikes to kids that don't even have bikes. So that was really cool just to see. That's one of the cool things every year I enjoy, just watching all those bikes get donated to kids that can't afford or don't have one. Also, we had the SE team from Benton, Arkansas coming up here, repping their bikes. I got to ride an SE bike for the second time, I think. I don't really ride SE. I just kind of feel weird on them, but awesome bikes, awesome people. I mean, the SE team coming up here, I think that was Drew Roller and Kerry Roller. They're awesome just to hang around. We also had other riders from Tulsa. We had our local riders, which is a small group. So we go into Saturday of the day 2 of the event, and we had the Jones Center Pump Track Championship, which it wasn't a big pump track race like usual, but I think we had 20 riders, and we had 3 or 4 age brackets, and it was really cool how that was done. I ended up, I was pretty much the final boss in the race. Like, whoever wins all throughout the brackets got to face me. So that was really cool. I ended up racing Jim Price out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it was fun getting to race some of those guys over there. Ended up with the first place win, of course, but of course my tires were almost flat trying to win that race, but I ended up winning. I don't know how, but I did. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think besides the pump track race, I think the big main event was the bike show, the vintage BMX show that I put on. It was amazing. It was more amazing than I originally thought it would be. We had a bunch of bikes that showed up. Oh my gosh. We had 42 vintage bikes showed up. 37 of those bikes signed up for the show, and man, it was hard. I actually brought in Jim Price, which the guy I beat at the pump track, since he had a little bit more knowledge about the old school bikes and the understanding of them. Because I always say, with the vintage bikes, there's always a story behind them. Always. So there was a lot of really cool bikes. Some of them, it was some of the best bikes in the country, which that was amazing. I got to see some of them at the Vintage Nationals in Tulsa a few weeks back, but man, the GTs, wasp. Anyways, amazing. The show turned out awesome. I can't wait for next year. The bikes that won in the show, man, it was hard to pick for Jim, man. He came up to me, he's like, dude, it's very hard with all these bikes because they're some of the best in the Midwest. Some of them is the best in the country. So we kind of went around. We found a bike that was a mystery bike, which I think I'm going to add a class next year for a mystery bike because no one knew what it was, but it was around an early to late 80s bike. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to add a few more classes for next year. But Vintage BMX Show went pretty well. I was pretty happy. Had a meeting with the Jones Center a few days ago, and they were thoroughly impressed with how everything turned out with that. So they want our podcast to come back and do that show again because they absolutely loved it. Yeah, without the bike show, the pump track race would be meh, not really worth it. But with the bike show, it was real worth it, especially having something for people to actually see. So that night, I actually asked one of I think she's currently a USA Cycling instructor or someone from USA Cycling. She got to be out there. She knows me from the crit races. I'm the only one that would show up on a 20-inch BMX bike at a road bike race to race the road bikes, mountain bikes, all kinds of bikes. And so a lot of people know me from that side. And I asked her about some of the questions back in July, August, why BMX is on the lowest totem pole when it comes to picking riders to go to Worlds. And she agreed that it's the lowest one on the totem pole, but it should be higher than the lowest because it's pretty much the gateway to any cycling across the board. Like you can go from BMX to mountain bike, BMX to downhill, BMX to cyclocross, BMX to gravel, BMX. I mean, it is the doorway to cycling all across the board. One of my friends and riders that used to race here at, it used to be called Mudtown BMX, but now it's NWA BMX. Grant Lamson, he just won the national championships, I think, for mountain bike or downhill, something like that. Dude, I got to watch that dude grow from a little kid all the way up to just this phenomenal rider. That kid has nothing but talent, raw, pure talent. And he finally got that national championship he was longing to get. So, Grant, if you're on here, dude, congrats. You have done amazing throughout the years, and I can't wait to see what chapter you open up next in your bike journey. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. We had a little conversation about the BMX world and the USA Cycling, UCI, just to kind of see why are things where it is. And it was just really interesting and cool to get that conversation. I wish I got it on video, but I didn't. I was in the middle of nowhere at a bonfire at my buddy's house after the pump track race. So, with everything coming down to, what is that? Wait a minute. Next month. You guys know what next month is. Thanksgiving weekend. It is the greatest race on earth. It's the 2025 USA BMX Grand Nationals. And so one of the things before I start like the entire Grands kind of talk, where's the mock-up? Dustin Jacobs, you've been asking for almost a year. Where's the mock-up? We want to know what the track is going to look like. Is it going to be a small hill? Is it going to be a big hill? Is it going to have 4 turns, 5 turns, 6 turns, 7 straights, 8 straights, 10 straights? I don't know. Where is the mock-up? I always love Dustin Jacobs when he does those memes and pictures of where's the mock-up of the Grands. I'm very interested to see how this year's Grands layout's going to be. I know a lot of people didn't really like 2022's layout with 4 short straights, 1 long straight. I really enjoyed it because I'm used to the short tracks. That's here in Arkansas, the short tracks. Also, like, a lot of people's been asking, where's the rock list? Where's the invite list for Race of Champions? Well, there's still a few state championships going on this week, I think. Nevada, New Mexico, and I'm trying to think, Vermont, I think. I might be wrong on that. But anyways, then I believe there's another state championship going on next weekend, and then Mississippi State Championship. I believe it's on the 29th, 30th, something like that. I don't know. It's in a week or two. But Magridge will be the last state championship final for this year. So after that, Rock List is going to be coming out. I hope they have everything ready to go that Monday because I know a lot of people's ready to sign up. Can't wait to see what a lot of people can do this year at Grands. So, Grands. So this will be my 10th year at Grands. And, well, yeah, this will be my 10th year at Grands, my 11th year at Rock. So this year is kind of special. Try to see what I can actually do. It's going to be amazing. I've already planned out the week, what I'm going to do and all that stuff. My week starts on a Tuesday. Of course, go check out the track. Vince, another event that night at Hardesty BMX. We're going to discuss a little bit more later on. So we got 39 days till Grands. That means 39 days to do sprints, 39 days to do some racing, training, gym, whatever you need to do to get ready for Grands. Grands is that one race at each and every end of the year every rider looks forward to. If you're a rider that's going for a NAG plate, national plate, that's the race that you want to go to get that plate. Race of Champions. Race of Champions. Yeah, you earn a trophy or a plaque. But if you win in your age group, you get that red #1 plate. So here's my advice to some of the riders. Of course, we didn't have a special guest today, unfortunately. But hey, that's all right. So throughout the years, I've been going to Grands. Always bring a bike lock. Always know what time your practice is, what moto they're on, I've seen a lot of riders throughout the years miss their moto, and of course, you can't repeat the moto at all. So once you miss that moto, it's pretty much over. So yeah, always be on top of what moto it is. Get down there like 30, 45 minutes before your moto, because throughout the day, I think there's like 20, I think I counted like 2 grants ago. It was like 20 seconds from the time that you step on the gate raises up, the cadence go off, and you drop. I think it's about 20 seconds. I could be wrong, but that's what I counted. So yeah, be on top of that stuff. There's a lot of cool activities going on throughout the week at Hardesty. Also, if you're out of state, you can go into the headquarters to the National BMX Hall of Fame and Museum. Go check that out, because it's going to be open all week except I think Saturday and Sunday. Check it out. It's going to be fun. Also on Thursday, they will be doing 2 different sessions of Thanksgiving dinner. So if you don't have no Thanksgiving plans, you don't have any restaurants that is available, that's open, get right up on that, usabmx.com. I believe it'll be down in the Grands area. And then it's either that or Hardesty's page. Not really sure. But anyways, yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on. Tuesday night, Tuesday you have the Connor Fields prep. The Taco Tuesday with Connor Fields. I think Nick Long's doing the clinic. Sand Springs is doing the annual pre-Grands race, so stop on over there. I'm going to do another few videos on that. I only got to do the annual Grands one time out of the other times I've been out there. Everything else, I've been busy. Don't show up until Wednesday, but hey, that's all right. So, going from the advice, so I think I'm going to have a complete full video package on what to do, what to expect at Grand Nationals. Starting the week at Tuesday, pretty much going through my schedule. From Tuesday all the way to Sunday, I will have that uploaded, I believe, either October 31st or November 1st. So all our riders that haven't been to Grands can prepare. So be on the lookout for October 31st or November 1st for that video. Now we get to the fun stuff at Grands. My favorite, my highlight of the entire weekend. It doesn't matter if there was a fight, no matter if you have a bingo card, which if you guys don't have a bingo card, I do have that NWA BMX podcast special bingo card. If you want one, let me know in the comments. I have my own bingo card from last year added to it. I think it's gonna be funny. I think that's a new thing that they should come out with. They would have a lot of fun with that throughout the week. So one of the big highlights for me is the Sidehack at the Pro Show, the Friday Night Pro Show. So a lot of people's been asking, when are Sidehack races? When is the qualifier? Riders that haven't been to Grands but yet want to come to Grands, race Sidehack, all the fun stuff. They want to get into the Universal Intergalactic Sidehack Championship, because, dude, that's intergalactic, man. There are no rules in Sidehack. All the fun stuff goes down. Everything comes off. And, yeah. there's no rules. Well, there's few rules in there, but anyways, so the side hack qualifier for Grands starts Tuesday night, Hardesty BMX. The last, I think, 2-3 years they've been doing that. Amazing time. Of course, Hardesty does their practice night, but with Sidehacks involved. I think last year we had 16 hacks, and I was lucky to be one of the top 8 hacks going into the B main. So once you qualify out in the top 8 teams, you get to either race A main or B main. They'll race that into the semis there at Hardesty. Then when you get to Friday, go up to the big registration truck, say, hey, I'm in the night show with Sidehack, give your name, team, whatever. They'll give you the wristbands for the night show. Right after the last moto of Rock, Race of Champions, in the main event, and pretty much get prepared for that. So Friday night show, I believe it was, I want to say it's the first main or the second pro main. It's one of the two. Anyways, you get up there, you race. A lot of fun. Last year I got to race Rick Carter with the Hack Shack. Dude, amazing time, Rick Carter. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to race you guys this year. I know you guys probably have some beef, of course, with maybe Hardesty. I don't know, with your chain twisting like that. That was pretty epic. That was kind of the highlight for me personally. Of course, Dark Horse. I know they're coming back even stronger. Torker, AOS Squared. Those guys are going to be fast. Got to be ready. Gretna, Punk. What was the other teams? Was it Alto Wrecking Crew? We had to race them. I can't remember some of the other teams, but they were quick. And I'm pretty sure we're ready to go up against them again and see where we lie with them. I've been doing side hack all year long. More side hack racing this year than I have the past, ever since I started back in 2019. So that was pretty awesome. So I gave it a little bit more thought about Grands and, of course, our show. But we are going to be doing 3 shows 1 week at the Grand Nationals. We are going to do our first show Tuesday night at the Grand Side Hack Qualifier at Hardesty BMX. I still haven't got a guest for that, so that guest spot's open. So if you want to be a guest and if you're going to be there, side hacker or out there for practice or just watching, come on out. Let me know if you want to be in that guest spot. We're going to have 3 guest spots throughout the week. Wednesday afternoon, I'm going to check with Cork or Shannon or whoever at USA BMX, see if we could use the Grand stage for our podcast. We've never debuted at Grands with a podcast, but I'm going to see if that could actually happen. If not, then that's all right. We'll do it in the parking lot or wherever. And we're going to be doing that after the races on... Oh, no. No, we're going to be doing that during practice. So, yeah, stay tuned for that one. Saturday evening, that's day 1 of Grands. So Wednesday is pretty much like talking about the track, what riders can expect throughout the week. Saturday is day 1 Grands on how, and then we're going to talk about like the pro show, all the kind of cool stuff on day 1 of Rock, day 2 of Rock, day 1 of Grands, see how everyone's doing. I have a couple of people in mind that I like to try to get interviewed on the podcast. One of them is Beer Budget's finest, Rick Carter. So, Rick, if you're on here and you want to be a part of that, dude, hit me up. I'm way open for that. That's something I've been wanting to do for a while. And if you're going to be at Grand's, please let me know, because I would love to do that podcast with you. Even make a cameo on the Beer Budget Show at some point. Dude, I enjoy the Beer Budget Show. Love everything that you guys are doing over there. We might actually have something special for you and Mike over there at Beer Budget. We gave the same treatment with Charles Bierman. And we got something coming to Core Bierman for all the support. Also, talking Sidehack. I've been to Guy Cooper's vintage race with the Sidehack. We've done the Max Heatwave Sidehack series. Now we're going to jump into the Grand's Sidehack race. But what would it be cool? What would be cool to end our year? Sand Springs BMX with the podcast plus Sand Springs teaming up for a Christmas-themed Sidehack race. December 14th, Sand Springs BMX. It is my pleasure to tell you guys that we will be doing that. Just that. If you race Sidehack at Grand's and you don't even make it out to the A main or B main, come on out. It's going to be fun. It's a couple weeks after Grand's, but that's all right. Come on out. Have some fun. If you're a kid or a person that's seen the Sidehack race at Hardesty or at Grand's and want to try it out, come on out. We'll have some loaner Sidehacks. We'll make something work. But yeah, so the Sidehack Christmas Classic, Sand Springs BMX, December 14th. That's going to be fun. Of course, our podcast is putting on for the awards. Can't wait. There's a couple ideas I'm throwing around. I'm going to get with a few other people and see what they think about it. But anyways, yeah, Sidehack Christmas Classic. You can't get any better. And I started thinking about it. What if Hardesty does their Santa Claus thing at Hardesty? That night, Mays County has their Christmas race that they did last year, which was incredible. Man, that one blew me away with all the gifts and stuff loaded up on the trailer. Amazing. So I think that would be really cool if Mays County did that again this year. Plus, you fall back to Sand Springs for the Sidehack Christmas Classic, last race of the year for Sand Springs, and the 2025 season. I think that's about it. Let me pause right here. Let's see if that big news is actually true. If it is, all right, guys, it is true. I got the big news and the big reveal. So, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I took a few riders under my wing the last few years. I took a rider under my wing, what was that, start of last year? Last year or the year before? Anyways, so this rider hasn't really raced, only raced a handful of BMX races. Still a novice, still a good rider. anyways, I want to actually announce this because this is huge. Because I don't know if he's watching or not, but my buddy Carlos just got engaged. So, dude, if you're watching, congrats, dude. Man, that's gonna be awesome. Get to go to Grands this year. His first Grands, guys. I get to be that mentor, navigator for him. Also for another rider, Kirk Young, which if you guys are out here in the Oklahoma, Northwest Arkansas area, you know him. He is a really awesome guy. Loves to ride that bike, man. He loves to ride that bike, jump anything, mount on the mountain bike trails. He's on a 24-inch, which, dude, it's awesome to get to see more and more of those riders out there on the race bikes. But yeah, man, Carlos, dude, awesome. Congrats. Hopefully we'll get you on here maybe during Grands Week. I don't know. We might do a small interview with you and Kirk. We might get you guys on here for that. But like I said, congrats, Carlos. Yeah, let me know when the wedding is. Dude, that's awesome. That was actually the big news before I jumped on here. I seen that over Facebook. I'm like, wait, what? He got engaged? Sweet. But yeah, he's one of those guys, our new riders here, and dude, that's awesome. Again, congrats, dude. I think that's about it, what we have for today. Unless you guys are jumping on, having like cool stuff going on. I know Red Bull Rampage is going on right now. I mean, those lines are interesting to see. I mean, I've watched Red Bull Rampage before. I watched, what is that? Yeah, Rampage, Hair Scramble. A few of the other Red Bull events, and wow, I got to race a couple of them a few years ago. The Red Bull Pump Track World Championship Last Chance Qualifier here in Springdale, Arkansas, 2018. Then 2021 went and raced the 2021 Red Bull UCI. That's when Red Bull UCI was converging, and the buyout was about to happen. So that was Springdale 2021. Then the week later, I went down to Paris, tried to qualify out again. It was unsuccessful. Of course, I had to race KJ Romero, the former Vet Pro or Vet Pro still? I'm not really sure. Got to race him. Got to race Pro Alec Bob at the time. Here at the Last Chance Qualifier, I had to race Barry Noble's time trials. That was awesome. That was one of my favorite races, getting to be on the track with him. That was the first time I actually met him in person. But yeah, dude, it's awesome to do one of these shows. Of course, have notes already. I'm not like the other times where I don't really have notes. I'm just going off the fly about stuff. But we got some other stuff coming up. Of course, Grands is coming up quick. We got a few clinics at Sand Springs. We got a few Nick Long clinics at Sand Springs coming up. The Grands, Sidehack Grands Qualifier, the Sidehack Christmas Classic Sand Springs. Yeah, a lot of events coming up, guys. So check with USABMX.com in the Grands area and look at all the schedules for Hardesty. I know they're going to be a bunny hop competition, freestyle competition, all kinds of stuff that week. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Also, thanks, for you guys. Thanks for joining. Without you guys, this show wouldn't be happening. You can find us here on Facebook, and now we got a YouTube channel. So all these videos all these shows are going to be on YouTube. So this will be show number 7, and it's pretty much going to be talking about grands and getting ready. So like I said, October 31st or November 1st, we'll have a grands prep video breaking down grands. I'm going to see if I can try to get a special guest. So if you guys have been to grands for a few years and want to special guest tonight, please text me, let me know, especially in the comments, if you want to be a part of that. I think it would be pretty cool getting to teach those new riders coming in and that hasn't been to grands. So anyways, thank you guys for joining. I think I'm going to go ride before the sun sets. I'm going to show the Railyard off. It's kind of getting cool. Ooh. That guy went down hard. No helmet. No helmet. Anyways, catch you guys later. Hope to see you on the next show. Hopefully we'll have another guest for you. It's going to be good. See you guys later.